For the final time this year, for Mets fans anyway, stand up, New York Mets fans. And we need to stand up here, damn it. Because Mendoza's gambling the last couple of games with the pitching rotation has done this team a lot more harm than good in the long term, both in the short and the long term. Tonight, he finally goes to the guy he should have pitched sent out there on Monday instead of Luis Severino, Jose Quintana. The lineups are as follows. For the Mets, they'll start with Francisco Lindor batting DH, Jose Iglesias at second, Mark Vientos at third, Brandon Nimmo in left, Pete Alonso at first, 1 through 6, Starling Marte in right, batting seventh, Luis Torrens in place of an injured Francisco Alvarez, back spasms, behind the plate batting seventh, Harrison Bader in center, batting eighth, and Luis Angel Acuna getting his first look at the Brew Crew, batting ninth. On the other hand, for the Brewers, they'll have Chiriot in right, Mitchell in center, William Contreras, not Wilson, how you screwed up last night, behind the plate, Willie Adames, at short, Rhys Hoskins at first, Scary Gary Sanchez DHing, this Collins kid, Isaac Collins in left, Jose Ortiz at third, Joey Ortiz, excuse me, and Andrew Monastadio playing second. They're going to a bullpen arm in Jared Cohen. I don't know about this move. And for those wondering why I'm calling Cohen a bullpen arm, the majority of his appearances this year have been in the bullpen. 54, this will only be his sixth of his 55 appearances on the mound going into tonight, including tonight. 49 of them have been from out of the bullpen, hence his inning numbers are so low. He's mostly used as a setup man for the Brew Crew alongside Trevor Miguel. But he does have a 9.4 record and a 2.51 ERA. My question is, what is Brewers manager Pat Murphy playing at here with this little stunt? I mean, maybe he's trying to rub Carlos Mendoza's bad gambling habit in his face. I don't know. And the fact that I'm stuck with this bullshit Colorado UCF game for at least the next 9+ minutes, which means I gotta switch to the radio call. As much as I don't want to do it. Thankfully, because it's audio and not visual, well, theoretically, I shouldn't get busted for this. Supposedly. I'm not going to get busted for this. Handoff, end around, cut back, and loss of 2. Once we get to the TV match, to getting this thing on television, we'll switch. Sometimes I wonder why God tends to jip me like this at times. Yeah, one start robbed from him last week in Atlanta because Mendoza was a hubristic idiot that game to start Severino on 4 days rest. Incomplete. Umpire crew tonight, Adrian Johnston behind the plate, Ramon De Jesus at third, Junior Valentine at second, Lance Barrett at first. Personally, I wanted to strangle Ramon De Jesus to death after a couple of the calls in last night's matchup. And I don't think fans on both sides could disagree with me with how bad that game was called by Jesus behind the plate last night. And he doesn't get in. I don't understand why the Brewers are going with a battery game tonight, but I do want to point out the Mets' major clinching points. Either they win these remaining two, and Arizona loses at least one of two to San Diego between now and Sunday, or, well, first pitch is a strike to Lindor, 0-1. I don't know why Lindor didn't try to make a hack at that one. Cutter is fouled off, 0-2. He'll call timeout. And he goes down on the changeup, strike three. Yeah, that back is really, taking over a week off is really threw off his rhythm. But here's a guy up next is a guy who has not had his rhythm thrown off over the last couple of weeks. Jose Iglesias, who's on an 18-game hitting streak. Let's see if he can get some out of this one. First pitch on its way. And he looks at a cutter at the knees, strike one. Come on, guys, swing at these fucking pitches. Show me some plate discipline, damn it. Fouled off the changeup, 0-2. The sooner this game fucking ends, the better. Sinker outside, 1-2. I wonder if Matty's on his way. Fouled off, 1-2. Ground ball, base hit for Iglesias. That now moves his hitting streak up to 19. And he'll stop at first with a single. First pitch to Vientos, and he takes a strike, 0-1. One right over the middle. I don't know why he didn't swing at that one. Vientos had a homer in last night's matchup to get the Mets on the board. Though by that point, it was a damage control home run. They were down 5-0 at that point because of the incompetency of Mendoza. Cutter is fouled, 0-2. And Vientos just stares at it. Come on, guys, swing at these pitches. Strike three. Are they so apathetic lately? Here's Nemo. Come on, Nemo, give me a fucking hit here. First pitch is outside for a ball. 1-0. Going inside 2-0. Call again. They're not chasing these middle pitches. 2-1. I don't know why they're not gonna take hacks at those pitches. They're basically fucking cookies. 2-1. Fouls that cutter off. 2-2. I mean, at least they're making Cohen work. If they can get him to at least 20, odds are Murphy could pull him out. Because again, Cohen is predominantly a bullpen arm, not a starter. Fouls it off. 2-2. We'll do it again. Fouls it off again, this time down the right field line. Down the third base line again. One of my main reasons I don't like using ESPN is because of how slow it is with baseball calls. Full count as it goes wide, way outside. Oh, God, that better not have said Atlanta 1, Kansas City nothing out of the box. Oh, it said 1 out, top 1. Never mind. Fucking jump scare. Nimmo hits this one to short, scooped up. It's a liner, actually. Picked by Adames, out on the fly, and that ends the inning. So the Mets get a hit, but nothing else out of it. Middle of the first inning, Mets nothing, and Milwaukee is coming up. Personally, I think it should have been Peterson starting this game, not Quintana, but whatever. Why do I say that? Because essentially you're putting a cold pitcher you haven't used in almost roughly 10 days against Milwaukee. Had you used him Monday against Atlanta, I would have advised again. Maybe things would have played out differently against the Braves. But again, what's Mendoza's biggest weakness? He's a compulsive gambler with his pitching core, and it's something I want his head cut off for if he ever pulls those sorts of stunts again next year if the Mets fail to make the postseason this one. As we saw, starting Manaea on 6 days rest when he was basically gassed after his outing in Philly last week against Philly on Saturday, didn't help. Jackson Chourio leads off for the Brew Crew. One of the things you need to watch out for with this Milwaukee squad is that there's speed demons on the base paths. Now, thankfully, Bauers, Bryce Charong, their best base stealer this year, is not in the lineup tonight. Yeah, because of a stupid ass gamble. First pitch, sinker, not hard thrown sinker, strike one. Just throw it outside to this son of a bitch, Jose. And he singles on the second fucking pitch. Why is it that our batters can't have the same level of discipline at the plate? I ask myself. This is basically how things started for Manaea last night, and why I want Mendoza's neck in a noose when the season is over if we fail to make the playoff cut. Is that so wrong for me to ask, folks? For a manager who's a compulsive gambler to be held accountable for his self-indulgent stupidity? Strike one on the sinker to Mitchell. I mean, oh, Maddie.
What
Hi,
up,
Maddie.
what up? Can't stay too long, but I thought I'd pop in and say hello. You're lagging a bit, my man.
So I noticed.
That happens. How you been? You gonna be on tonight?
I don't know. It's probably this background that's causing me to lag. Let me fix it.
Could be. It does look cool, though. Yeah, I don't have the game on yet. The Colorado game's still on over here.
I know. Same with me.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had a more localized feed being back east. But
I do. It's just that it was the background that was causing the lag.
all right on. Very cool.
Using MLB.TV until they switch it to the game.
Oh, cool. Good for you. Oh, man.
Fouled off 1-2. I mean, seriously, Mendoza needs to be held accountable if his pitcher gambling is why we missed the playoffs.
You take things.
I mean, anyone with half a brain knows you don't start Severino on 4 days rest.
Okay, so just for everybody at home, right now, how many games do the Mets need to win to get in?
In this series, they need to win just one and have Arizona get swept by San Diego.
Okay. And that'll get them in, just one and San Diego sweeps?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mitchell goes down swing, but Chirios swipes second. But the best option would be is if they win 2 and Arizona gets swept or loses 1 or wins just 1 against the Padres.
Right. Now, if that doesn't happen, they basically have to beat the Braves in that doubleheader Monday?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's if Arizona gets swept across the board by the Padres.
Jesus Christ, CU's killing these guys. CU is murdering UCF.
I mean, seriously, just give me the damn live feed of the Met Brewers already, you sons of bitches.
Oh, you got to calm down. So angry. Nice hat, though.
Strike 2. Got it on the day before my birthday as a birthday gift.
I had to get one. I love this hat. I think this might be their coolest one.
Okay. I don't know where the... Come on, Jose. Just throw it to the... Not that far into the dirt. 1-2. I mean, seriously, if the Mets fail to make the playoffs, it's Mendoza who has to be held the most accountable.
Dude, the fact that the Mets are where they are right now after the way this season started,
but what's the main catalyst for the reason the way the Mets start the season that badly? Mendoza with his consistent bull pitcher gambling. Strike 3 to Contreras, 2 down. I mean, you have to admit that. Games where they could have slammed the door, he kept putting in the wrong pitcher after wrong pitcher after wrong pitcher.
Yeah, I'll give you that. He made some bad calls.
April and May being the worst. August, he let it rear its ugly head yet again. Here's William Adames in the dirt on a curveball, ball 1. I'm having to use a radio feed at the moment.
The things you do for your art, my friend.
Or as Courage the Cowardly Dog would say, The things I do for love.
Or the things Jamie Lannister would say.
In the dirt, 2-0. You do not want Hoskins up.
What time's Arizona play? 9?
8:10 actually.
Oh, okay.
Or is it 8:40? Let me double check. It is 8:10.
Okay.
Two to Adames. Got him to chase a fastball, 2-1. I mean, if you told me at the start of the year that the Tigers and the Royals were going to make the playoffs in the AL, I would have laughed at you.
Yeah, but good on them.
And only because Minnesota went through a heavy collapse. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Adames will step out of the box. I mean, I know one person who's happy the Tigers got into the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm sure Abe is.
I was actually going to say Michael. Not Midnight Mike. Michael is in my brother-in-law. He's a Tigers fan.
Yeah, I don't ever hate on the Tiger. I have a hard time hating on any Detroit teams, really.
Line drive to center. Bader is under it. He's got it. Well, compared to last night, so far so good.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. I got to be on my show here in about an hour and a half. I still got to eat dinner and get all squared away. If I can pop back in later, I will. The link is still on my thing. It's still good, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see what's what, and I'll see if I can catch a later inning with you. All right, buddy?
Got it.
All right, buddy.
Note to self, don't use backgrounds when on stream. At least I've learned that lesson. But then again, the things I do to suffer for my art. In any case, it'll be Alonso, Marte, and Torrens coming up. Each team got a hit in the first inning, but that was it. For the Mets, they got a one-out hit, and Milwaukee got a leadoff hit. But Milwaukee was able to steal a bag in the process. Alonso, in what could be his final season as a Met, if he doesn't get to 90 between now and Monday, at least in terms of ribbies, I say he's gone. Because this is his worst season when it comes to productivity. COVID season doesn't count, as everyone got fucked over that season in one way or another. 2020 doesn't count, as everyone was fucked in that season one way or another. For those wondering how many homers Pete Alonso was hit as a Met, 226. Third most all time in the team's history. He's 16 behind David Wright and 26 behind Darryl Strawberry. And it looks like the Brewers are gonna make a pitcher change. This is a battery game, and it's gonna be Tobias Myers coming on to pitch. Interesting. But again, I did kind of suspect that this was going to be a battery game for the Brew Crew. They want to save their starters for the playoffs. This is a tactic that I'm actually not too opposed to, because Milwaukee is not one of the bye teams. They don't really have anything to lose, but they don't have anything to gain either going into this game. The Mets, on the other hand, have everything to lose and everything to gain. Tobias Myers, 8-6 record, 26 appearances. It's a little shocking that they're using a starter in a relief spot. So his pitch com's busted. 8-6 this year, 3.09 ERA, 134 innings pitched, 36 walks, 122 strikeouts. This is only the second time he's coming in relief. I would have been okay with him starting the game, but again, I can understand going the battery tactic to try to dupe Carlos Mendoza. First pitch, swung and missed, and a bad slider just that caught the outside edge of the inside corner of the plate. 0-1. He just has shown little to no discipline this year, but I blame that on his agent telling him to be more like Aaron Judge. And unfortunately, Pete took those words literally, and it's done him more harm than good. 0-1 pitch, hit in the right field, base hit. Is it going to go down the line, or is he going to hold it to a single? And Alonso gets on a Willy Adames throwing error, and by default, because the ball went into the camera well next to the Brewer dugout, Alonso will move to second, I think. Here's Starling Marte. As we know in the past, Mets haven't really done well in these situations. Swung and missed, strike one by Marte. Not much of a threat, especially when you consider the circumstance. 0-1, swung and missed, strike two. I think that's not an appeal to third base. 0-2. And too much time taken by Myers. That's a pitch clock violation. Ball one. Ow. I think my eardrums nearly bled on that scream. It's now 1-2. And Ortiz catches it. Alonso, unfortunately, will have to stay put. And unfortunately, Alonso has to stay put. A bad break there for the Mets. Strike one. It'll be Bader, who's been 10 of his last 75. That one's lined towards short. Can we stop with this wreck swing? Swan stared at, strike one to Bader. Can we show some discipline against this motherfucker, guys? Because I'm not seeing it. Fouled off, 0-2. Come on, Harrison, whack it. You see a blue dot, not a purple one. Ball one. Green one will do, but it doesn't move anybody. How I suffer for my artwork. Just misses the outside corner, 2-2. And Bader stupidly chases strike three. How am I not fucking surprised? He's now 10 for his last 7 innings. Mets get a man on through an error, but they can't get him beyond second. No score through an inning and a half. Ow. Remind me to kill Carlos Mendoza for his incompetence. Royals dodged the bullet in the bottom half of the first. No score there. Padres and Diamondbacks are warming up. It's 4-3 Houston over the Guardians, 4-0 Orioles over the Twins. Twins have nothing left to play for because of their fucking collapse. And you're an 8-3 taking the win out of Twins. And seriously, Harrison, it was the same fucking spot, if not a little further away. Why swing at that pitch? Seriously, why swing at that fucking pitch? At least we're down to 50 seconds at University of Central Florida, losing to Colorado 48-21. Why the hell do they even do this on Fox on Saturday in the afternoons? This game should have started sooner than later, than as late as it did, especially with how high the score ended up being. And for those wondering, I'm referring to what's on TV right now before they switch to Mets Brewers. 2nd and 3 from the 37. From the 38. Handoff. Or 3rd and 3. And that's it. Colorado wins. I mean, Buffalo's win. First pitch to Hoskins is a curveball, strike one on the outside edge. Goes for a sinker that's too high. Quintana throws a sinker that's too high and misses the edge barely, 1-1. This is what I wanted to see with Quintana on the mound last night, Mendoza. Not fucking Mania, you idiot. Ground ball to Acuna. He'll fire to Alonso. 1 out. Gary Sanchez ground takes a strike with a sinker, just catches the edge. 0-1. 1-0-1. Misses on the outside edge this time, 1-1. Gary, a former Met, albeit briefly last year, he didn't do much. And the Mets DFA'd him last year after only a couple of games. I mean, granted, Sanchez isn't as scary as he was with the Yankees. Swings and misses at a changeup in the dirt, 1-2. And Sanchez is going to burn his time out. Sit down, not so scary, Gary. Like I said, he didn't play much for the Mets last year. He was DFA'd almost instantly. He was Gary Sanchez. Where did he go after the Mets DFA'd him last year? Oh, he went to San Diego. Granted, San Diego wasn't much of a step up when you think about last year. Here's Isaac Collins, and he fouls off a sinker, 0-1, high middle. Ball one with another sinker. In one way or another. Ow. My neck just popped. Low in the dirt with the curve, 2-1. Who was an idiot last night. Fouled off. Full count. And of course, we know the Padres are 4. Have the 4 seed all sewn up already. Here's the payoff. Come on, get in the chase. Fouled off. I'll give Collins this much. He's fighting on this at bat. And base hit. It's an infield hit, and if I was Acuna, I would have just stuck that in my pocket. Ball one. Ball 2 in the dirt. Quintana now starting to struggle a bit. Now starting to force it a little bit. Strike one. Would be a good thing if he goes to the Mets, but I doubt he'll go there. If anything, he's going to a team that needs a shortstop if he leaves Milwaukee. Strike two, this time with the curveball. Fuck you, Josh Stein. Come on, Jose, get the out. One more strike and we're out of this issue. Got him swinging. So each side has gotten a man on in each of the first 2 innings through various means, but nothing has come across. And each team has gotten at least one runner the second, again through different means. For Milwaukee, a base hit and a stolen base in the first. For the Mets, a throwing error in the second. And that was careened into the camera well next to the Brewer dugout. It'll be Acuna, Lindor, and Iglesias due up for the Mets. And now I can finally switch off of this and just stare at the television. Though I will keep tabs on this with other games. Freddie Furman. Never heard of this guy. Let's check him out. He's not much of a catcher when compared to Sally, but considering that Sal is retired, it makes sense they need someone to take his place. Yeah, I'm keeping tabs on the Royals and Braves right now. Another base hit. Knowing Furman, he wasn't going on that pitch. Or then again, maybe he was going on that pitch. Okay, Kansas City's got a chance to score a run here. We could use it. Come on, Royals. You already got your playoff spot, but I know you want more. Especially when you consider the Tigers threw the game today to the White Sox. To the Woats. To the Chicago White Sox. As in the worst of all time. And here we are, top three. Took us long enough to get to this point. First pitch to Acuna, and he takes strike one from Myers, who will be pitching the next handful of innings of this game. Mendoza's first season as a manager, he was the bench coach of the Yankees for about 5 years. Acuna cuts at a high fastball and misses, 0-2. Oh, 2. Low, 1-2. Come on, Blanco, whack it. 1-2. That's foul to the back. 1-2. Yeah, but let's keep in mind my biggest criticism here, boys. The gambling with the pitchers. Last 2 games, it's blown up in his face. 1-2 high, 2-2. Was there a balk? Okay, Furman is in, so it's 1-0 Atlanta. Casey. That's foul off again by Acuna. He's at least fighting in this at bat. This thing is really getting glitchy these days. 2-2 to Acuna again. Here's the pitch. Way outside, full count. And that's fouled off. We'll do it again. Thank you. You got that fixed at least. I don't know why it's taking so long to fix those sorts of problems. Did the same thing last night with the Met Brewer game. Payoff pitch. Fouled off again, and we'll do it again. And again, Acuna is fighting, stacking the pitch count. Even in their last 2, they haven't played like it. Payoff pitch again. That's fouled off. Thank God they got the game on. It took them long enough. I really hated where they scheduled that game between Colorado. Payoff pitch, swung and missed someone over the plate, strike 3. First pitch to Lindor. Grounder to second, and you can see him jogging. He's not comfortable with that back. 2 down. Here's Iglesias. Ball 1. Iglesias looking for another hit. Let's see if we can get it. 1-0 pitch. Takes a slider. 1-1. Driven to center, not deep, and caught by Garrett Mitchell. So a 1-2-3 inning for Milwaukee. Let's see if Quintana can get the same. Through 2.5, we're scoreless. And knowing the rest of the crew, they're in the middle of their game between Arkansas and Georgia. Was it Alabama, Georgia? Let me double check. Georgia, Alabama. Great, another tropical storm on the way from the Gulf Coast. I wonder where this one's going to wind up. Igor? Here we fucking go again with these storms. And personally, for my mom, this would be the worst possible time for her to fly. From New York to Kennedy. From here, from the Charlotte Metro to Kennedy, you go first pitch to who's up? Monasterio, strike 1. Up and out, ball 1. Kyle Hendricks retired today, ending his career with a title with the Cubs in 2016. Curveball way outside, 2-1. No, you'd think Tana would come in. Strike 2, catches the inside part of the play with the force with the sinker. At least Kansas City is doing their part so far. 2-2 pitch. In the dirt. Doing full count. Come on, get him, Jose. Get him. Here's the payoff pitch. Ground ball to Alonso. He'll snatch it. Take it himself, 1 down. First pitch to Chiriot on the second time through the order. Ball 1. Chiriot got a leadoff hit off Quintana and then was stranded second after he stole it. Strike 1 on the curve. 1-1 on the curveball. 1-1 pitch to Chiriot. Strike 2. Jackson Chiriot doesn't like that call, but he's got to deal with it. P.S. I hated The Legend of Korra. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3. So far, so good for Quintana. I mean, the pitch count's a little high for 2 2/3 innings, 44 pitches, but I'll take it. Garrett Mitchell check swing, strike 1. Actually, dude, they skipped him twice. They skipped him Monday for Severino, a boneheaded gamble by Mendoza that I want to strangle him to death for, and last night for Minaya, when he had only 6 days rest. Because trust me, if that hurricane didn't hit, I had a gut feeling the Mets would have gotten themselves swept. Fouled off, 1-2 in Atlanta. Last time out was September the 18th. He went 7+, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks on 90 pitches before he was given the hook. That was the last fucking time Quintana pitched. It's been over a week and a half. 1-2 pitch. Foul off again. So can you blame me for that little rant I did on Tuesday morning when I basically ripped Carlos Mendoza another asshole? One two to Mitchell. Just missed on the sinker. 2-2. Oh, Sally's a DH now. I forgot about that. Two pitch. Got him with the high heat. So both pitchers have 1, 2, 3 innings in the third. Let's see if this pattern keeps up going into the fourth. Still scoreless through 3. And then Jacob Melendez goes down chasing one in the dirt. You son of a bitch. Other games getting ready to start. San Diego against Arizona. Los Angeles against Colorado. It's 4-3 top 7. Houston over Cleveland. And 6-0 Baltimore over Minnesota. Maybe I should ask for that shoulder and neck brace for Christmas. The one that the chiropractors want to cover up at any and all costs. Mark Vientos leading off. With the Philly loss today, the Dodgers are now have clinched the top seed in the National League. I mean, seriously, the Phillies had everything to play for, and they got lethargic. This could be their downfall when we get to the divisional rounds. Especially if they play Atlanta, who's now got much more to prove this time around. Strike one to Vientos from Myers, who's going out there for his third inning of work. The problem for the Mets is they're not showing discipline at the plate against Myers. Now, do I think Myers will get pulled after 5, maybe 6 innings? Perhaps. Vientos gets calls for time. 0-1 pitch. Changeup's low, 1-1. That's fouled off, 1-2. One-two pitch. In the dirt, 2-2 with the slider. That's fouled off down the first baseline. And we'll do it again. There's Chris Hook, the Brewer pitching coach. And Vientos chasing the fucking changeup. Strike 3, 1 down. What? He swung way over it. Well over the pitch. Fuck you, Vientos. Damn it, Vientos. Here's Nimmo. First pitch. And again, Mets can't seem to hit that damn curveball. Strike 1. Or at least get good wood on the damn thing. High heat, 1-1. That's way upstairs with the changeup. 2-1. Swing and a miss at the slider. The Mets are just chasing those off-speed pitches. 2-2. Granted, that one was well over the plate, but Nimmo swung over it, swung under it, and cut under it. Here's the 2-2. Swings under the slider again. Strike 3. Now here comes Alonso. Alonso reached on error in his first at bat back in the second. And again, Nimmo swung one off the plate, and he swung under it. A little higher with the bat, he would have gotten a little wood on it. First pitch to Pete. Cutter's low, 1-0. Just missed, 2-0. Two-0 pitch. Why does he not swing at those over-the-plate cookies? 2-1. Remind me to kill Pete Alonso's agent who told him to be more like Aaron Judge. Please remind me to do that, folks. 2-1 pitch. Swings and misses on a fastball, 2-2. Some fucking contact here, Pete. He's going to go high. And it bounces in the dirt. Full count. Payoff pitch. And the Mets and the side gets struck out. Where is the plate discipline? Myers strikes out the side. I bet this is why Murphy went with Cohen to start the inning, to throw the Mets a literal curveball by going with a bullpen on first and then switching to a starter. I don't understand why Seth Lugo was taken out after 2 innings by Kansas City. Was there a reason for this? Was there a reason for that? I know you don't mind. I know you don't care. But fill me in, Michael. I know you don't care for baseball, but just come in to fill me in on the whole give me the whole scoop. Marcos, I'm going to be blunt. You want to know why I decided to unfriend you? It's simple. Aside from what you exposed about yourself, the fact that you can't seem to get over it and constantly bring up saying, I'm going to atone, it just shows that you don't learn your lesson. It makes you come off like a self-indulgent, self-pitying moron. I've been down that road too. Jose can attest, but for different reasons. In any case, William Contreras is up first. First to lead off the Brewer half of the fourth. Strike one. High and away, 1-1. Lost a little grip on that pitch. Too far outside, 2-1. That's fouled off down the right field line. We'll do it again. 2-2. And naked 7, strike 3. This is what the Mets should have had against Atlanta on Monday night instead of Severino. Of course, Mendoza being an idiot. Up the middle, base hit for Adames. Third hit given up by Quintana, and that's one of the main problems with Quintana at times. Even when he's going at a good clip, sometimes chip damage sooner or later will catch up to him. What do I mean by chip damage? The amount of hits he gives up. Especially when you're seeing little to no discipline at the plate from his team, meaning he has to labor. The Mets move in the double play debt. Let's see if they can move it in the infield. Let's see if they can get it. First pitch to Adames is low, into Hoskins is low and out, ball 1. Hoskins grounded out in the second. Two balls, no strikes. Later, Michael. Ball 3. I mean, Johnson now just favoring Milwaukee with this count, and I'm getting a little fed up with it. Just throw it over the plate, you son of a bitch. But not a cookie that you can hit it over the fence. 2-3-0 pitch. He takes the curve, 3-1. Ouch. Marte got plunked in the Diamondback matchup. Padre Diamondback game. 3-1 pitch to Hoskins. High and out, ball 4. And now the Brewers are threatening. Runners at first and second and 1 out. Damn it. Okay, might as well see what Michael was talking about. Geesh. Pisses on me for my political beliefs. Strike 1. Swung and missed. Strike 2 goes Sanchez down 0-2. Way upstairs, ball 1. I don't know why Quintana is forcing the pitches. Come on, Jose. Get this strikeout. Doesn't get the call. 2-2. No one. Motherfuckers. Lines 1 over the third baseline, but it's going to hook foul. 1-1. We'll do it again. If that would have been fair, the Brewers would have gone on the board first. Quintana has been scoreless for 26 innings, a career best. Come on, get the out. Ball 3. And again, it seems like Quintana is forcing it as now the Brewers are showing the discipline at the plate. I want the Mets to show against Myers, but they're not doing it. They're committing to aggression and tunnel vision. And Torrens goes out to try to calm Quintana down. I think even he can see he's forcing it and throwing it too rapidly, and which is causing a loss of command. Payoff pitch. Got him looking. 2 down. First pitch, strike, ball 1 to Collins, who has one of the 3 hits against Quintana tonight. Well, duh, of course he did. That one gets away briefly from Torrens, but not behind him. It goes to the side, 2-0. Two-zero pitch. Strike 1. 2-1 on the curveball. Ball 3. And low again, and that's going to load the bags up. And Quintana is struggling here in the 4th. I mean, this is basically what trapped Manaea almost instantly last night. But then again, this is a consequence of having a pitcher sit for 10 fucking days. Cause, effect, and consequences. Is Mendoza, you fucking idiot. Cause, effect, and consequence. Cause for this 4th inning struggle. Quintana's sitting for 10 straight days instead of going out the day he was supposed to on Monday against Atlanta. Effect? He's struggling in the 4th. Possible consequence? Milwaukee could take the lead. CEC, Mendoza, your gambling could bite the Mets in the ass yet again. That's foul down the right first base line. Brewers have 10 grand slams, including the one they got last night, tied for the most in the history of the team. Get him to ground it. Way inside, 1-1. The way Quintana's pitching, I don't see him going beyond 5. 1-1. That's pop foul going behind the plate. We'll do it again, 1 and 2. I really don't like that Kansas City took Lugo out as early as they did. If he was injured, then fine. But only using him for 2 fucking innings tonight was stupid. You've been using him as a starter for most of the season. 1-2 pitch. That slaps one down the first base line, but it's going to go foul again. We'll do it again. Daniel Lynch the fourth. Come on, get him to chase something. 1-2 pitch on the way. That was not what I wanted him to chase. 2 and 2. But he's walked 2 in this inning alone. Oh, God. If he walks them, I'm going to kill you, Mendoza. Again, CEC, cause-effect consequences. If Quintana was pitching Monday against Atlanta, this wouldn't be happening. Sure, the Mets probably still would have lost that game anyway, but the point still applies. Putting him on a 10-day rest period had no logic. Payoff pitch. And it is Lutz one in the center. Base hit. That's going to get 2 in. And it's 2-0 Milwaukee. You see, Mendoza? Cause, effect, consequence! Cause, effect, consequence, Mendoza. Why did you sit Quintana on Monday? That was his spot in the rotation, you half-wit. You hubristic son of a bitch! Swing and a miss, strike 1 to Monastadio. Now, Mets, do me a favor in the 5th. Wake the fuck up, show some discipline, and hit that fucking ball! Fouled off, 0-2. .329 runs with 2 outs, most in the league by Milwaukee. And tell me, people, do I have a right to be angry? The divine ones would say no, but many Met fans would say yes. Throw to second and third. Too late. I don't know why Torrens took so long to try to catch Joey Ortiz. In the dirt, 2-2 again. I mean, seriously, Mendoza. Do you understand the concept of cause and effect? And the consequences of your stupidity and self-indulgence? Got him looking, but the damage done. 2 runs, 2 walks, 2 hits, 2 stranded. 4 innings complete, 2-0 Brew Crew. This wouldn't have happened if the rotation was allowed to go status quo on Monday. This would not have happened if you had just let Quintana go on Monday instead of giving him over a week rest. Giving Manaea 4 days rest, 6 days rest, giving Severino 4 days rest, and Quintana 10 was stupid of you, Mendoza. Plate discipline has been barren lately. Show me some discipline at the plate, Mets! Show me some fucking plate discipline and wake the fuck up! Your playoff lives are at stake. I seriously don't know how to sugarcoat it for this team, folks. And how infuriated I can be with Carlos Mendoza's gambling habit when it comes to the rotation and the bullpen. This was not the time, the final week of the season was not the time to gamble with the pitchers. You ask God to drill wisdom into his head, and he ignores it. Next year, if he's still around, he pulls this shit. I'm just going to drive my ass up to New York City and beat him to a pulp. Strike one to Marte. Marte drives one right field, down the line. It's a fair ball and a ground rule double. That's interesting. Turen's up. That's high and away, ball one. It's a ground ball. Marte will move up to third. It's a productive out. Throw to first in time. One down. Harrison Bader will need to get one into the outfield. That's not a damn pop-up. First pitch, and he fucking pops it up. It's going to go backward, foul, 1-1. If the season were to end today, it would be the Phillies playing the Mets, the Braves playing the Padres. Diamondbacks would be out of the running and guaranteed a new NL champion. On the other hand, the Yankees would be and Guardians would be 1-2. That's foul off again by Bader, 0-2. Oh, 2. Lined in the third baseman, and it's caught. What the fuck have you been doing, Bader? Maybe Taylor would have been a better use. Motown Revival. August 10th, the Tigers were 10 games out of the wild card hunt and 0.2% chance to make the playoffs. Since then, 31-12 and snapped the longest active postseason drought to get in. They lost today to the White Sox, but they let them have that one at pity. Here's Luis Angel Acuna. Strike one. So Coing was a trap, huh? So putting Coing in was a fucking trap. Interesting. Come on, Luis. Whack it in the outfield. That's fouled off. Well, duh, when you consider the mismatches with the pitching rotation because of their incompetent gambler of a manager, that one's outside 1-2. If you get what I'm saying, Rendazzo. Is it too much to ask for the Mets to get a salvage and for Arizona to get swept? 1-2 pitch. That's driven to right field and deep, but playable, and it's caught, and the Mets waste another opportunity. 2-0 Milwaukee as we go to the bottom of the fifth. There is no discipline at the plate in this series so far from what I've seen. There was very little last night, and there seems to be none tonight. And we need either tonight or tomorrow, plus San Diego to win against Arizona tonight and tomorrow just to get in. And because of the tiebreaker, we hold over Arizona. And we know who's going to be on the mound for the Mets tomorrow. It's probably going to be David Peterson, since Mendoza is hubristically throwing nothing but southpaws at the Brewers. And ironically, Peterson may be his best shot because he was the only pitcher that could beat the Brewers last year. Tell me, folks, am I wrong to constantly play the role of this team's watchdog and call out Mendoza for his bad compulsive pitcher gambling habit? I don't think I am. I know I shouldn't be this angry, but I am. I know I don't have the right to be angry, but I should have the right to be reserve the right to be angry at him. Angry enough to where I want to kill him. That's fouled off. 0-1. 1-1. Ball 2. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if this is Quintana's final inning of the game. Swan and miss, 2-2. I know I am beating a dead horse about my grievances with Carlos Mendoza. Chop foul, 2-2. We'll do it again. And I'm fully aware of that fact. But the question still stands. How long do I have to play the role of this team's watchdog, basically calling out the injustices and incompetencies of their pitching, of their managers? That's deep to left, and that ball is off the fence. Nimmo bobbles it, and Chourio will go in with a leadoff double. I mean, I did say the biggest issue with Quintana was chip damage, admittedly. And the biggest problem with Quintana was chip damage. And with him, with Jose Quintana, was chip damage. Basically, how many hits would he give up before he cracked? Answer tonight was 4. Sacrifice bunt, 1 down. Chourio goes to third on the sacrifice. Hit by Mitchell. And here comes William Contreras. You hear the Timmy trumpets you normally hear for Edwin Diaz now playing over the loudspeakers. Ow. And Quintana is coming out of the game. We'll be right back. Quintana's line ends at 4 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. And all because Quintana chose to skip his spot in the rotation in Atlanta. Could have used Quintana in Atlanta, but no. Mendoza decided to get cocky, put Severino in on 4 days rest. And then he puts in Quintana on 10 days rest when he's basically ice cold. I swear I sound like Jonah from the heavens demanding that God bring down his judgment on Mendoza and get rid of him. And when the season is over. But knowing God, he's going to show mercy on him. Him to show how much of a hypocrite I am. Not willing, and calling me out for not being willing to see that I'm as in much need of his leniency as anyone. Die by Acuna. Throw to first in time, holds the runner at third. Smart move by Acuna to look Chourio back to third. It's Phil Maton who's on the mound now. Strike 1. I mean, again, CEC, the last 3 games, None of the Mets stars have gone beyond the fifth. Maton, 68 games, 24 walks, 55 strikeouts, 3-3 record. That's popped up. Torrens may have a play. No, he does not. 0-2. Willie Adames singled in the fourth and scored. Hit a bullet up the middle with 1 out in the fourth. Oh, 2. Did he go? No. 1-2. One, two. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So for both sides, the leadoff double amounts to nothing. 1 hit, nothing. 1 man stranded, nothing left. But through 5 for Milwaukee. But through 5, they're up 2-0 on the Mets. Can we not rely on the long ball tonight? We need discipline, not power and tunnel vision. Although that would be a nice additional bonus. Pierce Johnson comes on to replace Reynaldo Lopez in Atlanta, tied at 1 against Kansas City, top 7. Bond 3 in Arizona, no score between the Padres and the Diamondbacks. It'll be Lindor, Iglesias, and Vientos for the Mets. Mets in the 6th. Later on tonight, it'll be number 8 Oregon against UCLA, but that's not until 11 o'clock. It'll now be Joe Payampas coming up. 3-for-3-7, but he does have a 3.10 ERA, 18 walks and 56 strikeouts in 67 appearances this season. Why the hell was Lindor going for a bunt? Ball 1. I mean, with his back, that's the last thing he should be doing. Slider, and he doesn't bother to chase it over the plate. 1-1. Outside with the 4-seam, 2-1. Swings and misses a sinker on the hands, 2-2. Gonna go high on this one. But instead, it sinks, strike 3. Again, where is the fucking plate discipline from this team? Is it too much to ask this team to show me a little plate discipline? Iglesias fakes bunt and he takes strike 1. Again, why are we going for fake bunts now? Fouled off, 0-2. Can I please kill you, Mendoza, if the Mets miss the playoffs? I really want you dead at that point. At that point, I do want you fucking dead. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And why do I say that I want him dead? Simple. The self-indulgence, the incompetence, the compulsive gambling habit, the hubris when the team is on a high run, like we were after the Phillies series. First pitch to Vientos, ball 1. I mean, I think all Mets fans want to lynch mob this son of a bitch if this happens. If the Mets miss the playoffs. Ball 2. Would anyone disagree with that fact? That we would form a fucking lynch mob to get rid of Mendoza? Why did you chase that one, Mark? 2-1. See? No discipline the last 4 games. How the fuck did he go on that pitch? 2-2. And for that matter, why the fuck would you go on that pitch? Full count. And when he even doesn't go, he strikes out. That was a cookie, Mark. Why the fuck didn't you swing? Where is the plate discipline? Wake the fuck up! If we don't win tonight, we need tomorrow's game. And San Diego to sweep Arizona at any and all fucking costs. Two nothing Milwaukee through 5.5. Great. Now I can't watch either game on Monday. I gotta do them through the damn radio. I mean, what is it gonna take what is it gonna take? Fans rallying against Mendoza for his idiotic gambling for Mendoza next season to be more logical with the pitchers and stop this reckless gambling habit. Because that's been the whole theme this week. Nothing but pitcher gambling. And this time it's with the rotation over the bullpen. something I can handle it with the bull if it's gambling with the bullpen. But the rotation is the worst thing. Is the one thing in baseball you cannot afford to gamble with. It's simple logic. First pitch from Maton to Hoskins, strike one. Strike two. Swung and missed, strike three. Three-run home. Oh, wrong game. That's fouled off by Bowers, who's now come on to pinch hit. For Gary Sanchez. Interesting little decision by the Brewers. Strike two. Got him swinging on the curve. Just give the Mets some damn runs in the name of Jesus. Please. Strike one to Collins. Collins got the two-run single. Three of them to this Brewers team. That's check swing. It's going to go foul, 0-2. That's foul down the first baseline, caught by the ball boy. Nice catch, by the way, kid. Swung and missed, strike three. Maton takes the Brewers down in 1-2-3 order, but still nothing across for the Mets. We go to the seventh. It's the Crew 2, New York 0. And the Mets need to wake the fucking bats up because I'm not seeing any discipline at the plate in this game tonight. They're not swinging at cookies. They're chasing bad pitches. And what little what little contact they are getting on the ball are usually soft liners. And that's not even if you include the bullpen, the rotation gambling this week. Something I will continue to bash Carlos Mendoza for, because it shows that he needs to limit that in 25 if the Mets fail to make the cut. And I put emphasis on fucking limiting the gambling with the pitchers. Because some of these guys are going to leave when this season is over. And you'll need to refocus the rotation again. Nimmo takes ball 1 low in the dirt. And now it's going to be Aaron Ashby to the mound. Interesting. I mean, he hasn't pitched all that much. Then again, he spent most of his time on the shelf. 1-0. Way inside, ball 2. Almost hit him on that heater. Oh, yeah, that was the main reason he missed last year. Shoulder surgery. I forgot about that. But then again, he was bouncing between San Diego and Milwaukee when that happened. Strike 1. I don't understand why the Mets are just letting those cookies go right by them. They're either, and even when they do swing it, and they're either swinging over them or swinging under them. 2-1 pitch. Chopper. Adames throws. This time he gets the out. 1 down. Tomorrow, game of the week. For most, they'll get New England against San Francisco. Others will get regional coverage. For me, it's going to be Cincinnati against Carolina. Others will get Philadelphia, Tampa, LA, Chicago, New Orleans, Atlanta, Washington, Arizona. Here's Alonso. Ball 1. Ball 2. That's foul. 2-1. Too high on that pitch. In low and out. 3-1. Driven up left. It's deep. But it's playable. 2 down. Got a bit under it. Mendoza, you need to be strangled to death for your gambling habit. Why can't you fucking break the gambling? First pitch to Marte. Bounces in the dirt. 1-0. Marte had a ground rule double back in the 5th, but the Mets couldn't do anything with it. Slow roller. And Ortiz gets the out. Mets go down 1-2-3. Time to stretch. 2-0 Brew Crew. I swear to God. I'm asking God, if you even, I want you to prove to me that you're up there, God, listening to my prayers every night. Mets will put Ryan Stanek in to replace Maton. Maton's done his work. 1 2/3 innings, 4 strikeouts. Last postseason appearance for the Mets was 2022. Their last pennant, 2015. Last World Series, 1986. Last pennant for the Brewers, 1982, when they were in the AL. Ryan Stank now on. First pitch is a strike to Jose Ortiz, who has the lone hit that got Milwaukee in front. One. Yeah, damn right it'll be difficult. If they can't win tonight, they're going to need to win tomorrow. Plus, San Diego to sweep Arizona tonight and tomorrow. That's fouled off. 1-2. No fucking kidding about what you said, Rendazzo. And what do you blame this on if the Mets don't make it in? Simple. Mendoza's gambling with his pitching core. Most of the major losses the Mets had point down to one habit: gambling. Strike 3. And that's Mendoza and his compulsive gambling habit. Since 2018, the Mets' House of Horrors in Atlanta is 18-34, 5.76 ERA, 4-10 one-run games, won 2 games in a row only in a series twice, and head-to-head this year, they're 5-6, and they're 4-10 one-run games. And that's ever since the Braves transferred from Turner Field to Truist Park, or as it was called back when it opened in 2017, SunTrust Bank Park. Ball 1. In the dirt, 2-1. That's foul, 2-2, and it hit Torrens in the mask. Strike 3, you're out. Strike 1. That's driven to right. It's deep, but playable. Marte at the edge of the track. He'll make the catch, and Stant gets the Brewers 1-2-3. The Mets, whoops, wrong game. The Mets need to show some discipline in these last 2 innings. Through 7. Brewers 2, Mets nothing. Compared to last night, this would be a step up, even with a loss. But still, Mendoza's gambling habit would do the Mets in regardless. Putting in a cold pitcher who had his position in the rotation skipped because of his manager's hubris. Possibly doing this team in. Come on, San Diego. Get a damn run, will you? We got to walk. We need a hit. Ow. You too, Kansas City. Get some damn runs. All 4 in Kansas City. I mean, let's face it. Milwaukee's been a house of horror for the Mets since 2016. I mean, just as much as Atlanta has been a house of horrors for them since 18. It'll be Terrence, Bader, and Acuna. And it'll be Nick Mears pitching for Ashby. Which means McGill will be closing tonight. 1.5, 6.04 ERA for Nick Mears. He's been a bullpen arm his whole career. Brewers acquired him at the deadline from the Rockies. And it'll be Tyrone Taylor hitting for Luis Torrens. Unfortunately, with Alvarez on the shelf, who does that mean is going behind the plate? With Alvarez only available for defensive purposes due to back spasms, who's going behind the plate tonight? Pop foul behind the plate, 0-1. Taylor lifts one to right. Not very, it's deep, but it's playable. Caught, 1 down. They're going to bring Francisco on to pinch hit. Are you fucking kidding me? So that means Taylor to center and Alvy behind the plate. But you got to wonder how bad is Alvarez's back acting up on him. He was not in the lineup due to spasms tonight. He was not put in the lineup due to back spasms tonight. And due to the back spasms he suffered sliding in the third last night. Strike 1. Swing and a miss on the cut on the slider, 0-2. I mean, here's what happened to him last night. Sliding the third feet first, he felt something in his bat, in his lower back. Just slid head first, he'd half-wit. Here's the 0-2. And he goes down chasing a slider. He overcut on it. Again, where is the fucking discipline at the plate tonight? I haven't seen it. It's gone missing. We're over-reliant on aggression. May I please kill Carlos Mendoza for his self-indulgent gambling. Here's Luis Acuna. Strike ball 1 in the corner. That's popped up. Shallow right. Another 1-2-3. We're being too aggressive. And we're 3 outs away from having to do some fucking scoreboard watching. And that's something I really don't want to fucking do tonight. 7.5 complete. 2-0 Brewers. I'm going to fucking beat the living dog shit out of Carlos Mendoza for his gambling habit. If I have to fly my ass to New York City or fly it down to Port St. Lucie for spring training, I am going to confront him and demand no more pitcher gambling this entire next season. Because we would have been around, we could have had around 90, 95, or even 100 wins by now if he wasn't such a fucking gambler. We would have been well in the playoffs if he wasn't a fucking gambler. Did David Stearns even look at that character flaw of his? Did David Stearns even bother to to look at the major character flaw of this man? His compulsive gambling habit with his pitching core. That has cost the Mets key games this season. Against Tampa, against San Francisco, against Miami, Oakland, Anaheim, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Washington, Chicago, a couple against Philadelphia. Houston. Who else? It wasn't Baltimore. Here comes Reed Garrett. Detroit. That was another one where his gambling did the team in. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Taylor now in center for Bader. And Alvarez behind the plate. Atlanta. Was another game where the recent game in Atlanta was another game where his gambling habit did the Mets in. Arizona, San Diego, during the road trip at the end of August. Pickoff attempt non-time. Not sure if one of the games in Colorado counts. Not count Seattle, then we just got our asses handed to us in that game. And that was more of an issue of plate discipline than anything else. Los Angeles. The whole series at City, I might want to point out. 1-1. And there's Devin Williams warming up to close it out in the ninth if he gets in. When he gets in. Two and one. And he goes, throw to second. Ball gets away, but it hits the runner. Is that an out or is he safe? Safe. Acuna just couldn't catch that one. Strike two. Full count. $17 out of 17 against the Mets pitching. And you know the Brew Crew is going to go all out tomorrow. Ball four. I would have brought in Diaz for damage control because he hasn't pitched in Milwaukee in almost 2 years. Next Saturday, we start the divisional round. We start the divisional round. Who's going to get Los Angeles? Who's going to get Philly? Who the fuck knows? And not to mention, they're desperate for fucking hits and desperate for fucking runs. I blame you for this, Mendoza. The hitting core has been lazy the last 4 games, including tonight. Your pitching gambling your gambling with the rotation hasn't allowed any pitchers to go beyond 4 innings any of the last 4 games when they start. That's pop foul behind the plate, 0-1. Alvarez not going to be able to get that one. Ground ball, base hit. That's going to score another. Throw to plate is cut off. 3-0 Milwaukee. Motherfucker. Fed Adamas a cookie. This should have been Diaz in this spot. I know that doesn't have a lot of logic to bring in the closer in the 8th, but in this case, he's with how bad the Mets have been hitting or lacking in hits tonight. He's not gonna get much of an opportunity, and then basically put him in there as a means for damage control. Strike one. Putting him in would just be little more than putting Edwin in at this point is little more than damage control. Is little more than a means for damage control at that point. I've won 3 games I've called. And I've lost, St. Louis, the Philly game in London, Miami game, and they're about to lose this one. So 4. 1 and 2. And they might lose this one. 1 and 2. And I mean, when you consider that he's putting yet another southpaw on the mound tomorrow in David Peterson, the Brewers know what to expect. Again, I don't understand the logic in that. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Yeah, but that's not going to matter much with this team down 3. Donate to the Red Cross. Call 1-800-RED Cross to help those affected by Hurricane Helene in the South. Yeah, too bad the Red Cross is in bed with the deep state political cabal and is so hell-bent on screwing people out of their money, they're not going to use it to help people affected by Hurricane Helene. So I say fuck the Red Cross. Strike 1. 1 to Bowers. 1-1. Driven to center. It's blooped. And Acuna can't get. That's going to be a bases loaded hit. Contreras tried to get a run home, but Taylor was quick to get to the ball. Oh, when Acuna couldn't get it. Strike 1. Swung and missed, 0-2. One and 2 as Garrett throws one low. Again, I would have put Diaz in this spot, mostly as a damage control buffer. But no, Mendoza goes with Garrett. Dude, with how bad this team has been playing tonight, you really think you can get 3 runs in the night to bring Diaz in? Did he go? No, he did not. 2 and 2. And whose head is it on, Mendoza? It's not on me. It's as much. It's on the pitching. It's on the hitting core, but it's mostly on you. I know I sound like a broken record. I am fully aware I am beating a dead fucking horse, calling Mendoza, playing the role of the watchdog, and calling Mendoza out on his gambling, wanting to bite him in the fucking ball sack for it. Swung and missed, strike 3. 2 down. I'm fully aware of those facts. Ball 1. Ball 2. Can either Kansas City or San Diego do something tonight? Three and 0. Should have brought Diaz in, Mendoza. Gambling on Garrett in this situation, while I understand it, and it is a quote-unquote safe gamble, if he gets a man on, he starts to crack. If a man gets on base against him, more especially like this, he begins to crack. Ball 4, 4-0 Milwaukee. Which means we need tomorrow to salvage. And now Diaz will come out. Took you long enough, you fucking slug. What? Danny Young? What did I say last Thursday against Philly? Young is not a late game pitcher. To me, this seems like Mendoza is throwing in the towel. And I'm going to kill him for it. It's simple logic. He could have put in Diaz in the 8th. Yes, I am aware that would have done little more than limit damage control to be a damage control limiter in this inning. But it would have made sense and kept the game 2-0. Instead, he goes to Garrett, and now he's going to Danny Young, which is going to make things worse and make me question his integrity as a manager even more. As well as his competency for the job. Why can't Mendoza take into account that his decisions, his gambles, have consequences? What have I said this whole stream? CEC, cause, effect, consequence. Cause for this, him sitting Quintana for more than a week. Effect, he gets gassed by the 4th inning and he gives up the go-ahead runs. It might as well be the game winners. Consequence, Mets gonna lose again because of his self-indulgent gambling. And I am getting fucking fed up with this. Ball 1 from Young to Monasterio. Monasterio 0 for 3 with a walk. This will be the 3rd time in five games in this ballpark the Mets have been shut out by the Crew. They got shut out twice last year and only dodged the shutout bullet by hitting 6 in a losing effort, getting a 6th spot on the board in a losing effort to Milwaukee last year. And that was early in the year. 2-0 pitch. Strike 1. How about killing Carlos Mendoza, Matt Randazzo? How about Wayne Randazzo? How about killing him? Ground ball up the middle, base hit, that's going to get 2 home. This is why Young doesn't work in this situation. We needed damage control. 6-0 Brew Crew. Why bring in your worst pitcher instead of your best one? 1 out of the pen. Diaz was the better option here, but no. Mendoza chooses to gamble again! Stop fucking gambling! You gamble-happy, arrogant son of a bitch! You deserve death for this shit! Runners on the corners, 2 outs, 6-0 Milwaukee. I'm giving myself a fucking heart attack with this. I want Mendoza dead when this season is over. I want him gone. Pink slipped. Out of New York, never allowed to return because we know the fans are going to blame him. They're going to go out of, including myself, are going to go out of the way to blame him if the Mets fail to make the cut because of his gambling habit. No hitter broken up in Arizona, and it looks like Arizona could sneak in. That's fouled off. Tell me, folks, am I wrong to want Carlos Mendoza out for his gambling habit? 1 and 2. Get the strikeout, but 4 runs coughed up because it's not Diaz on the mound. 6-0 Milwaukee. The question is, will they bring Devin Williams out to face Lindor, Iglesias, and Vientos? And it looks like they're going to, even though it's not a safe decision for the Brew Crew. Tell me, guys, am I wrong to want Carlos Mendoza out if this team does not make the playoffs for his gambling habit? Am I wrong? Post in the comments if you want him gone for the gambling habit when this season is over if this team doesn't make the playoffs. Because to me, gambling these games away with your rotation and your bullpen is a death sentence. And Mendoza has sentenced this team to death. And if he doesn't get his head out of his ass tomorrow, this team will be out of the playoff hunt. Lickety fucking split. Braves win, home run at the end in the ninth, 2-1 the final score. So essentially, Atlanta is now down to 2 on their magic number. Though they could just clinch outright if both the Mets and Diamondbacks lose tonight. So you got the game-winning Travis d'Arnaud. A 2-0 cookie over the middle by Long. How am I not fucking surprised by that? Seriously. Well, at least Vasquez can try to move into double play depth. Tell me I'm wrong, guys. Carlos Mendoza needs to be put on trial, found guilty, and convicted, and banished from the Mets for his gambling habit. First pitch to Lindor. Strike 1. I mean, Lindor has barely chased anything at all tonight. 0 for 3. I get the back issues have thrown his timing off. But, like, this is not the time to do it. To fall into a slump. Swung and a missed 0 and 2. Please let the Mets salvage this game and have Arizona lose tonight and tomorrow. That's fouled off. If he just let that one go, it would have hit him. Hughes shot back to the mound, 1 down. Here's Iglesias. One of only 2 men with a hit for the Mets. Ball 1. Two and 0. Well, he wouldn't be erupting if he wasn't such a compulsive gambling fool with any outlier of his team. 2 and 1. Cause, effect, consequences, Mendoza. Cause, effect, and consequence, and you brought this on yourself, you son of a bitch. 3 and 1. Slow roller is foul, and Iglesias winces as it hits off him. 3 full count. And finally, the Mets get a base runner via a walk. Took you fuckers long enough. But the fact that you've shown little to no plate discipline this entire game has pissed me off to no fucking end. Right now, Atlanta's magic number is down to 2. If the Mets lose, it goes down to 1. Swung and missed by Vientos, strike 1. Strike 2. Yeah, this has been very fucking reckless with his hit, with his swipe, with his swings lately, with his cuts lately. It's either he gets it over the fence or it's a strikeout. 0-2 on the way. Bouncer over the mound. Sit, and they'll get the force. I think I gotta do the Yankee game tomorrow. Nimmo drives, hits it to first. Easy rundown. Game over. Brewers shut them at 6-0. Like I said, Mendoza, cause, effect, and consequence with your bullshit pitcher gambling. We could have lost this 2-0 if you brought in Diaz in the 8th, but instead you chose to go to Garrett and Young, and the lead bloated by 4. The hubris you show with your gambles does this team more harm than good. Tomorrow, you cannot afford to gamble. Braves' magic number is now down to 1. It is now down to 1. Win for the Braves tomorrow, they clinch. The Mets, it's definitive do or die tomorrow. Thanks for everyone who bothered to show up to this game. Comment, like, and subscribe. Mets 228 signing out. Join me alongside the rest of the members of the Big Blue Crew, Big Pat Sports Talk, G Nation Inside Sports, Unpopular Opinion Sports Network, Man Cave Podcast, Zion Zenith, El Capitan Rafael Fuchalo, and so on and so forth. Goodbye. Good fucking night. Bang.